The millionaire found the poor waitress sleeping on the cold floor with her triplet daughters, and what he saw broke his heart. The rain came down in whispers that night, the kind that doesn't announce itself but seeps into everything close. Skin, resolve. Hannah Collins pressed her back against the cold ceramic wall of the storage room. Her body curved protectively around 3 bundles that breathed in tiny, uneven rhythms. Grace, Lily, Hope. 6 months old and already learning that the world was a place where you had to make yourself small. The generator outside rattled like an old dog's cough, and the emergency lights cast long shadows down the hallway. Hannah had told herself she'd only rest for a minute, just until her legs stopped shaking. Just until she figured out how to get home without the last bus, without an umbrella, without enough money for a cab that wouldn't take 3 babies anyway. She dozed off without meaning to. Exhaustion was like that. It didn't ask permission. The door's creak snapped her awake. Her heart lurched. "I'm so sorry." The apology died in her throat. Owen Lancaster stood in the doorway, one hand still on the handle. His expression caught somewhere between confusion and something she couldn't name. He was taller than he looked from across the dining room, his shoulders filling the frame, his suit jacket hung open. Tie loosened, and there were shadows under his eyes that matched her own. For a moment, neither of them moved. The silence stretched thin. "I didn't know anyone was still here," he said finally. His voice was quieter than she'd expected, like he was afraid of waking the babies. Too late for that, Hope was already stirring, her little fist finding her mouth. "I missed the bus." Hannah's voice came out smaller than she wanted. It was raining, and I couldn't." She was making excuses. She hated making excuses. Owen's gaze traveled from her face to the thin blankets wrapped around the girls, to the red jacket she'd folded as a makeshift pillow, to the bottle of formula tucked beside them. When his eyes met hers again, something in them had shifted. "How long have you been down here?" "Not long, maybe an hour." It was closer to 3. But admitting that felt like admitting defeat. He stepped into the room, and Hannah instinctively pulled the babies closer. But he wasn't moving toward him. He was shrugging off his jacket, the expensive kind that probably cost more than her rent. He held it out. "It's freezing in here." She stared at the jacket. "I can't, you're not taking it. I'm lending it." His tone left no room for argument when she didn't move. He draped it carefully over the girls, tucking it around their edges like he'd done it before. The gesture was too practiced to be accidental. Grace chose that moment to whimper, and Hannah's hands moved on instinct, scooping her up, rocking gently. "Baby girl, you're okay. We're okay." The lie tasted bitter. "Come on." Owen straightened, reaching for the light switch. Soft yellow flooded the space, and Hannah blinked against it. "You can't stay here," panic flared. "Please, I'll leave right now." "I just need to." "The break room," he interrupted. "There's a microwave." "For the formula," he paused, "unless you've already fed them." The question was so practical, so devoid of judgment that Hannah felt something crack inside her chest. Not since 6. It was past midnight. Owen nodded once. Decisive break room now. She wanted to refuse. Wanted to gather what was left of her pride and walk out into the rain with her head up. But Hope was crying now, and Lily was starting to fuss. And Grace's little body was tense with hunger. So Hannah did what she always did. She swallowed her pride and thought of them first. The break room was small, tucked behind the kitchen, and it smelled like burnt coffee and the lemon cleaner they used on the tables. Owen moved with purpose, filling the electric kettle, pulling a container of formula from her bag without asking. He worked in silence, testing the temperature on his wrist before handing her the first bottle. Hannah took it, her hands shaking slightly. "Thank you." He didn't respond, just prepared 2 more bottles while she fed Grace. The rhythm of it was familiar, the soft sucking sounds, the weight of the baby in her arms, the way everything else faded when she was doing this one thing she knew she was good at. "What are their names?" Owen asked, his back still to her as he worked. "Grace, Lily, and Hope." "That's a lot of hope. It's all I've got." The words hung between them. Too honest, too raw. Hannah wished she could take them back. Owen turned, holding the other 2 bottles. Here, he sat across from her, and she maneuvered Lily into her other arm, trying to manage both babies at once. It was a dance she'd perfected out of necessity. Tilt Grace's bottle just so. Angle Lily's head. "Don't drop anyone. Don't spill. Don't mess up. You do this every night." His voice held something she couldn't place. Not pity, something else. "Every 4 hours, more or less. They're good babies. They don't ask for much, just to eat and be warm and safe." Owen's eyes had gone distant. "Basic things, yeah." Hannah adjusted Hope in her lap, trying to free a hand for the 3rd bottle. Basic things, without warning. Owen reached over and took Hope, settling her in the crook of his arm with a confidence that startled Hannah. He lifted the bottle to the baby's mouth, and Hope latched on immediately, her tiny hands wrapping around his fingers. "You've done this before," Hannah said. "A long time ago." His jaw tightened. "My sister. She had a daughter." The past tense wasn't lost on Hannah, but she didn't pry. They fed the babies in silence, and for a few minutes, the world narrowed to just this: 3 infants eating. 2 people too tired to pretend they weren't broken in similar ways. When the bottles were empty and the girls were drowsy and milk-drunk, Owen spoke again. "How long have you been working here?" 3 months. Night shift, Thursday through Monday. "And you bring them every time?" "I don't have a choice. Daycare costs more than I make. And my neighbor, the one who used to watch them, she moved last week." Hannah looked down at Grace, running her thumb across the baby's soft cheek. "I keep them quiet. They sleep most of my shift. Nobody even knows they're here. Somebody knows." The words hit like a slap. Hannah's head snapped up. "What?" Owen reached into his pocket and pulled out a crumpled piece of paper. He smoothed it on the table between them. "This fell out of your apron." Hannah's blood went cold. Block letters, cut from a magazine like something out of a bad movie. "Don't come back here with those brats." And in the corner, barely visible, a stamp, the restaurant's logo. "Where did you get this?" Owen's voice had gone hard. "Someone left it in my locker." Last week, Hannah's voice was steady, but her hands weren't. "I showed it to Claire, the manager. She said it was probably just a prank. Said I shouldn't make trouble." "Claire Benson." "Yes." Owen stared at the note, his expression unreadable. Then he folded it carefully and slipped it into his own pocket. "You're not going home in the rain. Not tonight. I can't." "You can, and you will." He stood, picking up Hope with a gentleness that contradicted his firm tone. "There's a couch in my office. It's not much. But it's dry and warm. You'll stay until morning," Hannah wanted to argue. But Grace was already asleep against her chest, and Lily's eyes were drooping. And the thought of walking home in the rain with 3 babies and no umbrella made her want to cry. "Just tonight," she whispered. "Just tonight," Owen agreed. But they both knew it was a lie. Hannah woke to the sound of traffic and sunlight slicing through blinds she didn't recognize. For half a second, she forgot where she was. Then she felt the weight Grace sprawled across her chest. Lily tucked against her side, Hope's tiny fist tangled in her shirt. The leather couch beneath them was worn but comfortable, and someone had draped a blanket over all 4 of them. The office door was cracked open. She could hear the distant clatter of the kitchen coming to life. Prep cooks arriving for the morning shift. The clock on the wall read 6:47 a.m. She'd slept 4 hours straight. When was the last time that had happened? Carefully, Hannah extracted herself from the tangle of babies and blanket, her body protesting every movement. Her back ached, her feet throbbed, but the girls were still asleep. Their faces peaceful in the early light, and that was worth every pain. The memories came whether she wanted them or not. She'd been 19 when she met Marcus at a diner where she waitressed weekends. He had nice eyes and a nicer smile, and he told her she was beautiful in a way that made her believe it. 6 months later, she was pregnant. 3 months after that, he was gone, vanished the same week the ultrasound showed 3 heartbeats instead of 1. "I can't do this," he'd said, backing toward the door of her studio apartment like she was contagious. 3 kids, Hannah. I'm 22. I don't even have a real job. Neither do I," she'd whispered. "But I'm keeping them." He'd looked at her like she was crazy. Maybe she was. Her mother had said the same thing when Hannah called to tell her. "You can't raise 3 babies alone. You can barely take care of yourself." The line went dead before Hannah could respond. They hadn't spoken since. So she'd done it alone. Worked through the pregnancy until her feet swelled so badly she couldn't fit into her shoes. Delivered at a county hospital where the nurses were kind, but overworked. Came home 3 days later to an apartment that felt smaller, with 3 cribs shoved against the walls. The jobs came and went. Treetail, cleaning, delivery driving, nothing paid enough, nothing lasted. Until she'd seen the ad for night shift servers at Lancaster's. The pay was better, the tips decent. And nobody asked too many questions when she showed up with bags under her eyes and formula stains on her uniform. She'd been desperate enough to bring the girls. Desperate enough to hide them in the storage room during her shifts. Checking on them between orders, feeding them in stolen moments. Desperate enough to accept that this was her life, surviving in the margins. Hoping nobody looked too close, Hannah pressed her palms against her eyes. She wouldn't cry. Crying didn't pay bills. Owen hadn't slept. He'd left Hannah and the babies in his office around 2 a.m., retreating to the restaurant's security room where Charles, the night guard, was halfway through a crossword puzzle. Boss Charles looked up, surprised. "Thought you went home? Change of plans?" Owen pulled up a chair. "I need to see the footage from the employee areas." Last 2 weeks, Charles's eyebrows climbed. "Something specific you're looking for?" "Yeah. Everything." They'd watched in silences of grainy video compressed into fast-forward snippets. Hannah arriving with the diaper bag. Hannah slipping into the storage room during her break. Hannah emerging 15 minutes later, eyes red, adjusting her apron. And then, on Tuesday night, something else. Claire Benson, the day manager, standing at Hannah's locker. The angle wasn't perfect, but Owen could see her slip something inside before walking away. "Well, damn," Charles muttered. "That's not good." "No, it's not." Owen had known Claire for 3 years. She was efficient, professional, ran a tight ship. He'd never had reason to question her, but watching that footage, something cold settled in his gut. He thought about Rachel. His sister had been 26 when she died. 26, with a 2-year-old daughter and a deadbeat ex who paid child support when he remembered, which wasn't often. She'd worked 2 jobs, mornings at a pharmacy, nights cleaning offices, and still barely made rent. "I'm fine." Owen, she'd insisted every time he offered help. "I don't need your money. I need to do this myself." Pride. It had always been Rachel's weakness. The accident happened on a Wednesday. Rachel fell asleep at the wheel driving home from her night shift. Too exhausted to keep her eyes open, she hit a guardrail at 60 miles per hour. The police said she died instantly. Like that was supposed to be comforting. Owen had been in Tokyo on business. He'd gotten the call in a hotel room that cost more than Rachel's monthly rent. He'd flown home, arranged the funeral, and discovered his sister had been 3 months behind on everything: rent, utilities, daycare. She'd been drowning and never told him. Her daughter, Emma, went to live with her father's parents. Owen visited once a month for a year, then once every few months, then not at all. It was easier not to see Rachel's eyes looking back at him from a child's face. Easier not to remember that he could have helped and didn't. He'd built walls after that, hired managers to manage people, kept his distance, turned Lancasters into a success by staying detached, professional, uninvolved, until last night, when he'd opened a storage room door and seen a young woman sleeping on cold ceramic. Her body curved protectively around 3 infants, the way Rachel used to curl around Emma during afternoon naps, fierce and gentle all at once. He couldn't look away this time. By 7 a.m., the restaurant was humming. Owen stood in the kitchen doorway, watching prep cooks dice vegetables in heat oil. Their movements practiced and efficient. Marcus, the head chef, glanced up. "You're here early." "Boss, couldn't sleep," Marcus grunted. "Join the club." He gestured toward a pot of coffee, fresh made. Owen poured himself a cup and carried it back through the dining room. The morning light turned everything gold, the polished tables, the framed photos on the walls, the gleaming bar. Lancaster's was his legacy, the thing he'd built from nothing after leaving his father's investment firm. It was supposed to mean something. He wondered what Rachel would think of it. Probably that he'd wasted too much time on a restaurant when he could have spent it on people. Through his office door, he could see Hannah was awake. Sitting on the couch with Lily in her lap, the baby was gumming her fist. And Hannah was whispering something Owen couldn't hear. Maybe a song, maybe just soothing nonsense. He knocked gently before entering. "Morning," Hannah looked up. Startled. "I should go. I didn't mean to." "You didn't mean to sleep safely with your kids." "Don't apologize for that." Owen set the coffee on his desk. "Are you working tonight?" "Yes, Thursday through Monday." I remember, he hesitated. "The note, the one from your locker. I want to look into it." Hannah's face went carefully blank. "Claire said." "I don't care what Claire said." Owen's voice came out harder than he intended. He softened it. "Someone threatened you. That's not okay. It's not a prank. I can't afford to make waves. You can't afford not to." They stared at each other, and Owen saw it again, that same exhausted determination Rachel used to wear. The look of someone who'd decided survival was more important than dignity. "Just let me work," Hannah said quietly. "Please, that's all I'm asking." Owen wanted to argue, wanted to tell her she deserved better than hiding in storage rooms and ignoring threats, but he recognized the fear in her eyes. He'd seen it before, in a sister who refused help until it was too late. "Okay," he said finally, "but I'm keeping an eye on things. And if anything else happens, anything you tell me, deal." Hannah nodded, though they both knew it was an empty promise. She'd been on her own too long to trust anyone, even someone offering help, as she gathered the babies and prepared to leave. Owen made a decision. He'd watch the cameras, talk to the staff, figure out who was behind that note. He wouldn't make the same mistake twice. The trouble started small, the kind of small that's easy to dismiss as coincidence. Hannah's badge disappeared on Friday. She'd clipped it to her apron at the start of her shift, same as always, but when she reached for it to clock out, it was gone. She spent 20 minutes searching the break room, retracing her steps, checking under tables. Lost something. Claire Benson appeared in the doorway. Arms crossed, her smile sharp as a knife. "My badge. I had it when I started." Careless. Claire's tone was light, but her eyes weren't. "You'll have to pay for a replacement. $30. $30. That was groceries for 3 days. I didn't lose it. It was right here." "Then where is it?" Claire stepped closer, and Hannah caught the scent of her perfume. Something expensive and cold. "You know the policy. Lost badges come out of your paycheck. Unless you're suggesting someone took it." The implication hung between them. Hannah swallowed her protest. "No, I'll pay for it." "Good girl." Claire's smile widened. "Try to be more careful." Saturday, her time card showed 4 hours less than she'd worked. Hannah stared at the computer screen in the back office. Recalculating, checking her notes, she'd clocked in at 10 p.m., clocked out at 6 a.m., 8 hours. But the system showed 4. "Must be a glitch," said Tom, the assistant manager covering weekend nights. He barely looked up from his phone. "Fill out a correction form. Where do I get one?" "Claire has them. Ask her Monday." Monday was 2 days away. Hannah needed that money now. Formula was running low, and Lily had outgrown her onesies. But arguing with Tom was like arguing with a wall. She filled out what she could and left it on Claire's desk. The form disappeared. When Hannah asked about it Tuesday morning, Claire looked at her blankly. "What form?" "The time card correction." "I left it right here. I haven't seen any form." Claire shuffled papers with deliberate slowness. "Are you sure you filled one out? You've been looking tired lately. Maybe you forgot." Hannah's hands clenched. "I didn't forget. Well, I can't process what I don't have." Claire turned back to her computer, dismissing her. "If you find it, bring it back." Wednesday brought something worse. Hannah was clearing table 6 when she heard the crash. She spun around just in time to see the dessert cart careening toward her. No, toward Hope's carrier, tucked discreetly behind the server station where Hannah could keep an eye on her. She lunged. The cart missed Hope by inches, slamming into the wall instead. Plates shattered. Chocolate mousse splattered across the floor. And Hope started screaming. Hannah scooped up the carrier, her heart hammering, checking the baby frantically. No injuries, just scared. "What the hell?" Marcus appeared from the kitchen, face flushed. "Who moved that cart?" Everyone looked at everyone else. Shrugs, confusion. The cart had been parked by the kitchen door. Brakes locked. Someone had to have released them. "It must have rolled," Claire said smoothly, already there with a mop. "These old carts, you know. The brakes stick." "I checked those brakes myself yesterday," Marcus said flatly. "They were fine." Claire's smile never wavered. "Well, accidents happen. Hannah, maybe you should keep your cargo somewhere safer. This is a restaurant, not a daycare." The words landed like stones. Hannah felt everyone's eyes on her, the other servers, the line cooks, even the dishwasher, judging, measuring, finding her wanting. She carried Hope to the storage room and locked the door before she let herself shake. Owen watched it all from the security office. He'd been reviewing footage for days now, looking for patterns, and what he found made his blood run cold. The badge hadn't fallen. It had been removed from Hannah's apron while she was in the walk-in freezer. The fingers on the screen were too blurred to identify. But the red manicure was distinctive. Claire wore that shade. The time card glitch wasn't a glitch. Someone had manually edited Hannah's hours, entering them from Claire's login. The correction form Hannah mentioned. Owen found it in the trash behind Claire's desk, torn in half, and the dessert cart. Charles had pulled that footage for him. The clip showed Claire releasing the brake and giving it a gentle push, angling it directly toward the server station, toward Hope's carrier. "She's trying to get the girl to quit," Charles said quietly, "or get herself fired." "Why?" Owen rubbed his face. "What did Hannah ever do to her? Exist? Maybe, you know how Claire's about standards." Charles made air quotes. "She's always going on about maintaining the restaurant's image. A poor single mom with 3 babies probably doesn't fit her vision." Owen thought about the torn form, the stolen badge, the near miss with the cart. This wasn't just prejudice. This was systematic. "Pull everything," he told Charles. "Every interaction between Claire and Hannah. Every time Claire's been near Hannah's station or locker. Want it all." "You got it, boss." Thursday night. Hannah found the rumor had spread. She overheard it in the break room. 2 servers she barely knew, talking in low voices that stopped when she walked in. "Heard she steals food." takes leftovers home in her bag. Is that even stealing? It's just going to get thrown out anyway. Claire says it's theft, says she's been watching her. Hannah's stomach dropped. She'd taken exactly 3 meals from the kitchen in 3 months. And only after Marcus explicitly told her she could have them. Mistakes, dishes that got made wrong, food that couldn't be served. Marcus hated waste. But Claire was calling it theft. Hannah grabbed her things and left without saying a word in the hallway. She nearly collided with a man in an expensive suit, one of the regulars. Someone important whose name she could never remember. Oh, she stepped back. Sorry, sir. He looked at her with distaste. You're the one with the babies. It wasn't a question. Hannah's face burned. Yes. Sir, I saw you sleeping in the storage room with them. A few weeks back, he adjusted his tie. This is a 5-star establishment. There are standards. It was one time. But he was already walking away, heading toward Claire's office through the open door. Hannah saw him lean close to Claire, saw Claire's expression shift from concern to satisfaction. She felt sick that night. After her shift, Hannah sat in the storage room, her usual spot now, since Owen's one-time offer hadn't been repeated, and tried not to cry. The girls were asleep, full and content, and she had exactly $43 in her bank account. Rent was due in 6 days. Her phone buzzed. A text from her landlord. Heard you might be losing your job. Need to know if you can pay on time. How did he hear that? How did anyone hear that? Hannah deleted the message and pulled Grace closer. The baby stirred, making soft noises, and Hannah hummed the lullaby her grandmother used to sing, the only good memory from her childhood. She didn't hear the door open until Owen spoke. You're here late, she jumped. I was just the bus, Hannah. He sat down across from her, not too close. I've been watching the cameras. Her heart stopped. I swear I didn't steal anything. Marcus said I could have. I know you didn't steal. His voice was gentle. But Claire's been telling people you did. She's been telling people a lot of things. Hannah's throat tightened. Why? I don't know yet. But I'm going to find out. He pulled something from his pocket. A printout. This is your actual time card. 8 hours, not for, I'm having payroll fix it. You don't have to, yes. I do. He looked at the babies, his expression unreadable. How long has this been going on? Hannah wanted to lie, wanted to say everything was fine. But she was so tired of holding it together alone. Since the second week, she whispered, little things at first. My schedule getting changed without telling me. Coffee getting spilled on my apron right before a shift. Then, bigger things. The badge. The time card. That card. She paused. I thought maybe I was imagining it. You weren't. The certainty in his voice broke something loose in her chest. What do I do? Owen was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, let me handle it. Trust me. Trust. Such a small word. Such an impossible ask. But when Hannah looked at him, really looked, she saw something that reminded her of the few good people she'd known. The nurse who'd stayed late after her delivery. The neighbor who'd babysat for free until she moved. People who helped because it was right, not because they wanted something back. Okay, she said, but if this gets me fired, it won't. He stood. I promise. Promises were dangerous things. But Hannah was out of options, so she let herself believe him. Owen spent the next 3 days living in the security office. He'd told his assistant manager he was conducting a routine audit standard procedure. Nothing to worry about, but there was nothing routine about the way he combed through footage, cross-referenced schedules, and traced every interaction Claire had with Hannah over the past 3 months. What he found was damning. Charles brought him coffee at 2 a.m. on Saturday, settling into the chair beside him. You look like hell. Boss, feel like it too. Owen rubbed his eyes. The screen showed Claire entering the employee locker area at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday well after her shift ended. She glanced at the camera, then reached up and adjusted its angle slightly. Just enough to obscure the lockers. Smart, Charles muttered. But not smart enough. Owen fast-forwarded. 15 minutes later, Claire left. The moment she was gone, he rewound and zoomed in on what little the camera still caught. A flash of white paper. Claire's hand on locker 14, Hannah's locker. Got her, Owen said quietly. That's just one incident. You need more. I know. Owen opened another file. That's why I requested the financial records. The audit had taken some persuading. Owen's CFO didn't like irregularities being investigated. Without warning, but he'd pulled rank. The preliminary report had come back that morning. And what it showed made Owen's jaw tight with anger. Phantom vendors. Invoices for supplies that were never delivered. Payments to companies that didn't exist. And every single transaction had been authorized by Claire Benson. How much? Charles asked. 80,000, give or take. Spread over 2 years. Owen scrolled through the spreadsheet. She's been skimming, small amounts, different accounts. She thought nobody would notice. Why go after Hannah, though? What's the connection? Owen had been asking himself the same question. Then he found it buried in an old email chain from 4 months ago. Hannah had accidentally been CC'd on a message between Claire and the CFO about inventory discrepancies. Just a mistake, a wrong click. But it meant Hannah's email address was in the thread. Claire couldn't know if Hannah had read it, couldn't know if she'd noticed the irregularities. But she couldn't take the chance. She sees Hannah as a threat, Owen said slowly, even if Hannah doesn't know anything. Claire can't risk it. Easier to push her out than worry about what she might have seen. That's cold. That's Claire. Owen printed the financial documents and added them to the growing pile on his desk. What about the recordings? From the back hallway, Charles pulled up a new video. This is from last Wednesday. 3:17 a.m. The screen showed Claire walking down the corridor toward the storage room. She paused at the camera, reached up, and the feed went black. She turned it off. Owen said, "Yep." For exactly 15 minutes, Charles skipped ahead. At 332, the camera blinked back on. Claire walked away. Empty-handed, Hannah found a note that night, Owen remembered. Under one of the baby bottles, can't prove Claire left it with the camera off. No, but the pattern's there. Owen leaned back. How many times has she done this? Charles checked his log, 7 times in the past month, always between 3 and 4 a.m. Always the storage room camera, always exactly 15 minutes. Owen felt cold. This wasn't opportunistic. This was calculated. Claire had been terrorizing Hannah in the blind spots, where there'd be no evidence, no witnesses. Just a scared young woman who wouldn't be believed. Pull everything, Owen said. Every camera gap, every edited time card, every invoice. I want a complete timeline. You're building a case. Damn right I am. Monday morning, Owen called his lawyer. They met at a coffee shop 3 blocks from the restaurant, Neutral Ground, where Owen could talk without worrying about who might overhear. James Chun had handled Lancaster's legal matters for 5 years, and he didn't spook easily. But when Owen laid out the evidence, James's expression went grim. This is bad, Owen. Really bad, I know. The fraud alone is enough for criminal charges. Add in the harassment, the deliberate sabotage. James flipped through the printed documents. You've got time card manipulation, which is wage theft, camera tampering, which is destruction of evidence. And if that cart had actually hit the baby, you'd be looking at assault charges. So, what do? Fire her today and report the fraud to the police. James looked up, but be prepared for fallout. Claire is going to lawyer up and she might try to claim wrongful termination. She might even go after Hannah, say the girl fabricated everything. Owen's hands clenched. She wouldn't, she absolutely would. People like this. When they're cornered, they lash out. James closed the folder. My advice. Document everything. Have witnesses, and when you fire her, do it publicly enough that she can't spin the narrative later, publicly, in front of staff, on camera. Make it clear why she's being let go. James softened his tone. I know it's not your style, but you need to protect yourself. And more importantly, you need to protect that young woman and her kids. Owen thought about Hannah, the way she flinched when Claire walked by, the exhaustion in her eyes, the careful way she made herself small. She'd been fighting alone for too long. Okay, he said. I'll do it that afternoon. Owen called a meeting. He asked all the evening shift staff to stay after close, told them it was important. Hannah looked confused when he included her, but she stayed. Settling the babies in their carrier, Claire showed up in a crisp blazer, her expression perfectly pleasant. Is this about the quarterly reviews? No. Owen stood at the head of the table. With the folder of evidence in front of him, Charles stood near the door, arms crossed. This is about theft, harassment, and fraud. The room went silent. Claire's smile froze. Excuse me, over the past 2 years, you've embezzled approximately $80,000 from this restaurant through fake vendors and false invoices. Owen opened the folder. Sliding copies across the table, you've also systematically harassed Hannah Collins, tampering with her time card, stealing her badge, and leaving threatening notes. Hannah's face had gone pale. The other staff members exchanged shocked glances. Claire recovered quickly. That's absurd. I don't know what she's told you, but she didn't tell me anything. Owen pulled out his phone and connected it to the TV on the wall. I have video. He played it all. Claire adjusting the camera. Claire releasing the brake on the dessert cart. Claire entering the storage room area. The timestamps, the angles, the evidence stacking up piece by piece. When it finished, Claire's face was white with fury. This is entrapment. You can't. I can, and I am. Owen handed her an envelope. You're terminated effective immediately. Security will escort you out. The financial documents have been forwarded to the police, and we'll be pressing charges. You can't do this. Claire's composure shattered. I've worked here for 3 years. I made this place run smoothly. And you're gonna believe some trashy single mother over me. The venom in her voice made Hannah flinch. Owen stepped forward. That trashy single mother is worth 10 of you. She works harder, treats people better, and has more integrity in her little finger than you've ever had. His voice was ice. Security, now. Charles moved forward. Claire tried to argue, to threaten, to bargain. But it was over, and everyone in that room knew it. As Charles escorted her out, Owen turned to the remaining staff. If anyone else has experienced harassment or intimidation, my door is open. This ends now. The room stayed quiet. Then Marcus spoke up. About damn time. Boss. A murmur of agreement rippled through the group. Owen looked at Hannah. She was staring at the table, tears streaming silently down her face. Hannah, he said gently, can you stay for a minute? When the others had gone, Owen sat across from her. Are you okay? I don't. Hannah wiped her eyes. I didn't think anyone would believe me. I believe you. And I'm sorry it took so long. He slid a paper across the table. This is a new contract. Full-time, benefits included. And we're setting up a proper childcare arrangement so you don't have to hide anymore. Hannah stared at the contract like it might disappear. Why are you doing this? Owen thought about Rachel. About all the ways he'd failed her. Because it's the right thing to do. And because you deserve better than what you've been getting. Hannah's fingers trembled as she picked up the pen. When she signed, Owen felt something loosen in his chest. Not redemption, not yet, but maybe the beginning of it. Thank you, she whispered. Don't thank me yet, Owen said. This is just the start. The weeks after Claire's firing brought changes Hannah didn't know how to process. Owen converted the old storage manager's office into a nursery, nothing fancy. Just a crib, a changing table, and a rocking chair he'd found at a thrift store. He installed a baby monitor and told Hannah she could use it whenever she needed. The first time she laid the girls down in an actual crib instead of a carrier on cold ceramic. She cried. It's too much, she'd told him. It's the bare minimum, he'd replied. Her new contract meant real hours, real pay, real benefits, health insurance that covered the girls' pediatrician visits, a schedule she could count on. But more than that, it meant Owen was around more, arriving early, staying late, checking in without being intrusive. They fell into a rhythm. It started with coffee. Hannah came in at 5:30 a.m. one Thursday to prep for the breakfast shift. Her new schedule meant mornings now, not nights, and found Owen already there, the coffee maker gurgling in the break room. You're here early, she said. He looked up from his laptop. Couldn't sleep you. The girls were up at 4. Teething, she poured herself a cup, adding the powdered creamer they kept stocked once they're awake. There's no point trying to go back to bed. How do you do it? The question came out quiet. The sleep deprivation. I mean, working and taking care of 3 babies. Hannah shrugged. You just do. There's no other option. Owen was quiet for a moment. Then he said, my sister used to say the same thing. It was the first time he'd mentioned her directly. Hannah sat down across from him, the one with the daughter. Yeah, Rachel. His jaw tightened. She had Emma when she was 24. The father bailed, and Rachel worked herself into the ground trying to keep them afloat. I offered to help money, a place to stay, whatever she needed. She always refused. Pride, independence, maybe both. He stared into his coffee. She died in a car accident. Fell asleep driving home from her night shift. Hannah's chest constricted. I'm sorry, me too. Owen met her eyes when I saw you in that storage room. It was like seeing Rachel all over again. Someone trying so hard to do everything right and getting punished for it. The words hung between them, heavy with meaning. Hannah didn't know what to say, so she just reached across the table and squeezed his hand. He held on for a moment, then let go, clearing his throat. Anyway, coffee's fresh. Help yourself to anything in the kitchen for breakfast, Owen, it's fine. But his voice said it wasn't. Not really. I should get back to work. He left before Hannah could respond, but something had shifted. A door cracked open just enough to glimpse what was behind it. They started talking more after that. Owen would find excuses to be in the kitchen when Hannah was on break. Hannah would linger after her shift, helping close up even though she didn't have to. The conversations meandered, work gossip, funny customer stories. Nothing too deep, but gradually the surface stuff gave way to something realer. What made you open a restaurant? Hannah asked one evening, wiping down tables while Owen counted the register. Spite, mostly, he grinned. My father wanted me to take over his investment firm. I wanted to do literally anything else. Cooking felt like the opposite of finance. It's tangible, immediate, you make something good. And people enjoy it. Simple. Doesn't sound simple. It's not, but it's honest. He locked the register. What about you? What did you want to be? Before everything. Before the babies. Before Marcus left. Before survival became the only goal. A teacher, Hannah admitted. I was taking community college classes, working toward my degree. Then I got pregnant. And she gestured vaguely. Life had other plans. You could still do it. Eventually, maybe. Hannah didn't let herself believe in eventually. Eventually was a luxury. Owen studied her. You don't think much of yourself, do you? The observation caught her off guard. What, you apologize constantly, you make yourself small? You act like wanting basic decency is asking too much. He leaned against the bar. Someone really did a number on you. Hannah's defenses rose. I'm realistic, there's a difference. No, you're scared, and I get it. You've been knocked down enough times that staying down feels safer. He paused, but you're not alone anymore. You don't have to keep fighting like you are, don't I? The words came out sharper than she intended, Owen. You're being kind now, but what happens when I'm not the charity case anymore? When helping me stops feeling noble? Is that what you think this is? His voice went quiet. Charity, isn't it? Owen crossed the space between them in 3 strides. Hannah, I'm not helping you because it makes me feel good about myself. I'm helping you because you deserve help. Because you work harder than anyone I know, and you've got nothing but shit for it. And because when I look at you, he stopped himself, took a breath. This isn't charity. Hannah's heart was pounding. Then, what is it? For a long moment, Owen didn't answer. Then he reached out and tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, the gesture so gentle it made her throat tight. I don't know yet, he said. But it's not charity. The girls loved him. That was the part that surprised Hannah most. Grace would light up when Owen walked into the nursery, her whole face splitting into a gummy smile. Lily reached for him like he was someone safe, and Hope serious, watchful. Hope relaxed when he held her, her tiny body going soft against his chest. You're good with them, Hannah observed one afternoon. Watching Owen bounce Lily while she changed Grace's diaper, I had practice with Emma. Rachel used to guilt me into babysitting. He adjusted Lily's position. I was terrible at first. Didn't know which end of the diaper went where. Hard to believe, asked Charles. He still brings it up. Owen smiled at Lily. You're much better behaved than Emma was. She screamed bloody murder every time I picked her up. Where's she now, Emma? The smile faded. With her paternal grandparents, I visit sometimes, but he trailed off. It's complicated. Hannah understood. Complicated. Does she know about Rachel? Yeah. They told her when she was old enough. Owen's voice went rough. I should visit more. I keep saying I will, and then I don't. It's hard. Grief makes everything hard. Is that what this is? Grief. He looked at her. I thought it was cowardice. Maybe it's both, Hannah said gently. But you can't change the past. You can only do better going forward. Is that what you tell yourself every single day? Owen set Lily down in the crib, then turned to face Hannah fully. You're stronger than you think. I don't feel strong. Nobody does. That's the secret. He moved closer, and Hannah's breath caught. Strength isn't about feeling confident. It's about showing up even when you're terrified, like you did with Claire, like you've been doing. For months for your kids, his hand found hers. Don't sell yourself short. Hannah, she wanted to argue, wanted to list all the ways she was failing, all the cracks in her armor. But Owen was looking at her like she mattered, and it had been so long since anyone looked at her that way. Thank you, she whispered. For what? For seeing me? Owen's thumb traced circles on her palm. How could I not? The moment stretched, fragile and charged. Then Hope started crying, and the spell broke. Hannah pulled away, flustered, and went to comfort the baby. When she glanced back, Owen was watching her with an expression she couldn't quite read. Want, maybe, or hope, or something more dangerous than both that night. Lying in her apartment with the girls asleep beside her, Hannah let herself think about it, about Owen, about the way her pulse jumped when he smiled, about how safe she felt when he was near. It was stupid, dangerous. He was her boss, her lifeline, the person who'd saved her from drowning. Getting involved would complicate everything, but when she closed her eyes, she saw his hands cradling Hope, heard his voice saying, "This isn't charity," felt the ghost of his touch on her palm. Maybe, she thought, maybe eventually, and for the first time in years. Eventually felt like something worth hoping for. The peace lasted 3 weeks. Hannah should have known better than to let her guard down. Should have remembered that good things in her life had a way of curdling, but she'd been lulled by the rhythm of normal working her shifts, using the nursery, eating meals that weren't rationed down to the calorie. By Owen's presence, steady and warm, she didn't notice the shift at first. It started with whispers. Hannah would walk into the break room and conversations would stop. Servers who'd been friendly turned cold. Marcus still treated her the same. But the prep cooks avoided eye contact. "Did I do something?" she asked Amy, one of the younger waitresses who'd always been kind. Amy looked uncomfortable. "It's nothing, just people talk, you know. Talk about what? About you and Owen." Amy lowered her voice. "About how you got your new position." Hannah's stomach dropped. "What are you saying?" "I'm not saying anything, but Claire had friends here, and they're saying—" Amy trailed off. "Look, I don't believe it, but rumors spread fast." The implication was clear. People thought Hannah had slept her way into better treatment, that Owen's kindness was payment for something sordid. Hannah felt sick. The rumors grew teeth. Someone, she never found out who, started leaving printouts on the employee bulletin board. Nothing explicit, just articles about workplace relationships, professional boundaries, conflicts of interest, each one carefully highlighted in yellow. Her locker got hit again. This time, instead of threats, she found a note that read, "Some women have standards. You're not one of them." Hannah took it down and threw it away. But the word stuck. She tried ignoring it. Tried focusing on work, on the girls, on anything but the weight of judgment pressing down on her. But it was everywhere, in sidelong glances, in conversations that died when she approached, in the careful distance people maintained. Even her tips dropped. Customers who used to be generous left exact change. One woman, impeccably dressed, looked at Hannah with open disdain and said, "I prefer servers who earn their positions." Hannah had smiled and said nothing. But inside she was screaming. Owen noticed. "You've been quiet," he said one morning. Finding her in the nursery, Grace was fussy, fighting sleep, and Hannah was rocking her with mechanical precision. "Just tired." "Hannah," he sat beside her. "What's going on?" She wanted to tell him. Wanted to dump the whole mess in his lap and let him fix it like he'd fixed everything else. But the rumors were about him too, and dragging him deeper felt wrong. "It's nothing. Really, it's not nothing. You haven't smiled in days." He reached for her hand, then stopped himself. The gesture didn't go unnoticed. Hannah saw him pull back, saw the awareness in his eyes. They were both suddenly conscious of perception. "People are talking," she said finally, "about us." Owen's jaw tightened. "What are they saying? Does it matter?" Hannah shifted Grace to her shoulder. "They've decided I'm using you. That everything you've done for me is because we're—" She couldn't say it. "That's bullshit." "Is it?" Hannah met his eyes. "Owen, you gave me a promotion, a nursery, better hours. From the outside, it looks exactly like what they're saying. From the outside, it looks like I'm treating an employee fairly, which I am, but they don't see it that way. They see Claire getting fired and me getting rewarded." Hannah's voice cracked. "They think I'm the reason she's gone. You are the reason. She was harassing you. They don't know that. They just know she's gone and I'm still here. And you're—" Hannah gestured helplessly. "You." Owen stood, pacing. "So, what do you want me to do? Ignore you? Treat you worse so people feel better? I don't know." Hannah's frustration boiled over. "I don't know how to make this better. I finally have something stable. And now it's falling apart because people can't mind their own business." Grace started crying in earnest, picking up on Hannah's stress. Hannah tried to soothe her, but her hands were shaking too hard. Owen took the baby gently. Cradling her against his chest, Grace quieted almost immediately, and Hannah felt the failure of that like a physical blow. "I'm a mess," she whispered. "You're human." Owen rocked Grace slowly. "And you're dealing with a lot. So are you. This affects you too. Let it." His voice was firm. "Hannah, I don't care what people think. I know the truth. You know the truth. That's what matters. But your reputation, my reputation, will survive gossip. Will yours?" He looked at her. "That's what you're really worried about, isn't it? Not what they're saying about me, but what it means for you." Hannah's throat tightened. "I've worked so hard to prove I'm not what people assume. Not lazy, not looking for handouts, not using my kids as an excuse. And now they think the only reason I'm succeeding is because I'm sleeping with the boss. Then we prove them wrong." "How?" Owen handed Grace back, his expression thoughtful. "We document everything. Every decision I make regarding you goes through HR. Your performance reviews, your schedule, your pay, all by the book. We make it impossible for anyone to claim favoritism. That's a lot of work. So, you're worth it." He paused. "Unless you'd rather I back off completely. Keep my distance. Let you handle things alone." The offer was genuine, and Hannah knew it. Owen would step away if she asked, would give her space to navigate this without his shadow complicating things. But the thought of losing him, losing the conversations, the support. The way he looked at her like she mattered made her chest ache. "No," she said quietly. "Don't back off." Something flickered in Owen's eyes. "You're sure?" "I'm sure." That afternoon, Owen called a staff meeting. He stood at the front of the dining room, arms crossed, expression harder than Hannah had ever seen it. "I've heard rumors circulating about my relationship with Hannah Collins. So let me be clear, our relationship is professional, period. Any promotion or benefit she's received is based on merit and documented through proper channels. If anyone has concerns about favoritism, you can take it up with HR." The room was silent furthermore. Owen continued, "Harassment of any employee, including spreading rumors or leaving malicious notes, will result in immediate termination. We just got rid of one toxic presence. I won't hesitate to remove others." His gaze swept the room, and more than one person looked away. "If you have a problem with how I run this restaurant, there's the door. Otherwise, focus on your job and leave other people alone." He walked out without waiting for questions. Hannah felt every eye turn to her, some sympathetic, most resentful. She kept her head high and went back to work. The rumors didn't stop, but they quieted. Late that night after closing, Owen found Hannah cleaning the nursery. The girls were asleep in their crib, and she was wiping down surfaces with single-minded focus. "You don't have to do that," he said. "Cleaning crew handles it, I know." "I just needed to," she trailed off, setting down the cloth. "Thank you for what you said today. I meant it. I know you did. That's what makes it matter." Hannah sat in the rocking chair, suddenly exhausted. "This is harder than I thought it would be." "What is?" "Letting someone help me. Trusting that it won't disappear." She looked up at him. "You scare me, Owen. I scare you." "Not you. This," she gestured between them, "whatever this is, because it feels real, and real things can hurt." Owen crossed the room and knelt beside the chair, bringing himself to her eye level. "I can't promise it won't hurt. Life hurts, but I can promise I'm not going anywhere. You can't promise that. Watch me." His hand found hers. "Hannah, I don't do anything halfway. When I commit, I commit. And I'm committed to this, to you, to those girls, to making sure you have what you need." And the question came out broken. "Why me?" Owen was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, "Because when I look at you, I see someone who deserves better than what she's gotten. And because somewhere along the way, helping you stopped being about Rachel and started being about you." Hannah's breath caught. "Owen, you don't have to say anything. I just needed you to know." He squeezed her hand and stood. "Get some rest. Tomorrow's a new day." He left before she could respond, and Hannah sat alone in the dim nursery, her heart racing. This was dangerous, foolish, probably a mistake, but as she watched her daughter sleep and felt the ghost of Owen's touch, Hannah couldn't bring herself to care. The Friday dinner rush was brutal. Every table was full. The kitchen was slammed, and the noise level hit that particular pitch that made Hannah's skull throb. She'd been on her feet for 6 hours straight, juggling orders and refills while keeping an eye on the nursery monitor clipped to her apron. The girls had been angels all evening, fed, changed, sleeping peacefully in their crib. Hannah had checked on them during her break, kissing each tiny forehead and whispering promises she hoped she could keep. Just a few more hours, and they'd go home. Just a little longer. She should have known better. Table 12 needed more water. Hannah grabbed a pitcher from the service station and headed over, weaving between chairs and other servers. She didn't see the dessert cart until it was too late. It came out of nowhere, rolling fast, too fast, directly into her path. Hannah tried to dodge, but the pitcher was heavy and her balance was off. She stumbled, the cart clipped her hip, and suddenly she was falling, the pitcher flying from her hands. Time slowed. The pitcher hit the edge of a table and exploded. Water and glass shards erupted outward, drenching Hannah and spraying the nearby diners. The cart kept going, crashing into the server station with a sound like thunder. And then, worst of all, Hope's cry pierced through the chaos. Hannah's head snapped toward the nursery, the carrier. She'd left it by the station while she grabbed water, just for a second. Just. The cart had missed Hope by inches. But the crash had terrified her, and now all 3 babies were wailing, their cries cutting through the shocked silence of the dining room. Hannah scrambled to her feet, ignoring the glass cutting into her palms. The water soaking through her uniform, she lunged for the carrier, scooping it up, checking frantically for injuries. No blood, no bruises. Just 3 terrified babies, and a mother whose heart was trying to break out of her chest. "What the hell is going on?" Claire's voice rang out, sharp and unmistakable. Hannah's head jerked up. Claire stood at the entrance to the dining room, arms crossed, her expression a perfect mask of professional concern. But her eyes glittered with satisfaction. Hannah's voice cracked. The cart? This is a restaurant, not a daycare. Claire's voice carried across the entire room, designed for maximum impact. Everyone was watching now, diners, staff, everyone. This is exactly what I warned about. Children don't belong in a professional environment. It was an accident, Hannah managed. Still holding the carrier, still trying to calm Hope. Someone must have what? Must have been distracted by screaming babies. Claire moved closer, her heels clicking on the wet floor. You bring those children here every single shift. You leave them unattended while you work, and now look disaster. Someone could have been seriously hurt. A murmur rippled through the dining room. Hannah saw the looks, judgment, disapproval, some sympathy, but mostly condemnation. A woman at table 8 shook her head. A man at the bar muttered something to his companion. I didn't leave them unattended, Hannah said. Hating how small her voice sounded, they were right there, and I was just making excuses. Claire cut her off. I've been patient. Mr. Lancaster's been more than generous, but this, she gestured at the mess, the broken glass, the soaked floor, the crying babies. This is unacceptable. Hannah's throat closed. She was shaking, water dripping from her hair, glass embedded in her hands. And all she could think was, I'm going to lose everything. Maybe you should take them home, Claire continued, her tone deceptively gentle now. Clearly, this arrangement isn't working for anyone. It wasn't a suggestion. It was a dismissal, delivered in front of a room full of witnesses who would remember this moment, remember Hannah as the struggling single mother who couldn't hack it, who brought chaos everywhere she went. Grace's wails intensified. Lily was coughing from crying so hard. Hope's face was red and scrunched. Her little fists flailing, Hannah made a decision. She gathered the diaper bag with her free hand, ignoring the pain in her palms, and walked toward the exit. Her vision was blurry, tears or shock, she didn't know, but she kept her head up, kept moving, even as the weight of failure pressed down like a physical thing. Behind her, scattered applause, relieved applause, the kind that said finally and about time and good riddance. Hannah pushed through the door into the cold night air and kept walking. She didn't look back. She made it half a block before her legs gave out. Hannah sank onto a bus stop bench, the carrier beside her, and let herself fall apart. The babies were still crying, and she tried to soothe them, rocking, shushing, singing through the sobs that shook her shoulders. But she was all out of comfort, all out of strength. This was it. The end she'd been terrified of since the day Marcus left her. Homeless, jobless, 3 babies and nowhere to go. Her phone buzzed, a text from the landlord. Heard about tonight. Need you out by Monday, of course. Of course, he'd already heard. Bad news traveled fast. Hannah stared at the message until the screen went dark, then let her head fall back against the bench. Above her, the sky was starless, choked with city light. Somewhere, people were having normal Friday night's dinners, movies, plans that didn't include wondering where they'd sleep next week. Hannah, she jerked upright. Owen stood a few feet away, breathing hard like he'd been running. His shirt was untucked. His expression, somewhere between fury and fear. Go away, Hannah said. Her voice was wrecked. No, he moved closer. What the hell happened back there? You saw, I ruined everything, she laughed. Bitter, Claire was right. I don't belong there. I should never have. Claire wasn't there. Hannah blinked. What, Claire Benson wasn't at the restaurant tonight? She was fired 3 weeks ago, remember? Owen's voice was tight with anger. She's banned from the property. The words didn't make sense, but I saw her. She was right there, she said. Who did you see, Hannah? Describe her. Hannah tried to think through the fog. Blonde, tall, red blazer. She paused. I didn't actually see her face clearly. The lighting, and I was on the ground, and it was Karen. Owen pulled out his phone, showing her a photo. Karen Ricci. She worked with Claire. Quit the same day Claire was fired. They've been friends for years. The woman in the photo looked similar to Claire, same build. Same style, in the chaos, with the lights and the panic. Hannah had seen what she expected to see. She staged it, Owen said. The whole thing, the cart, the timing, everything. Charles reviewed the footage. Karen released the brake and aimed it at you. Then walked into the dining room like she owned the place and humiliated you in front of everyone. Hannah couldn't breathe. Why revenge, loyalty to Claire doesn't matter. Owen crouched in front of her. Hannah, you didn't do anything wrong. Everyone saw what Karen wanted them to see. But I'm going to fix it. His voice was steel. I'm going to make this right. How? Hannah gestured helplessly at herself. Soaked. Bleeding. Broken. It's over. My landlord wants me out. Everyone thinks I'm incompetent, and even if you fix it, I can't go back there. I can't face. Yes, you can. Owen took her hands. Careful of the cuts because you're stronger than you think. And because you're not alone. I've always been alone. Not anymore. He held her gaze. Trust me, please. Hannah wanted to. God, she wanted to. But trust was a luxury she couldn't afford. Still, what choice did she have? Okay, she whispered. But Owen, if this doesn't work, it will work. He helped her stand, taking the carrier in one hand and keeping his other on her elbow, steadying her. Come on, let's get you and the girls somewhere safe. Then I'm gonna burn that place down, metaphorically. Right, we'll see. Despite everything, Hannah almost smiled. Owen brought Hannah to his apartment, a clean, sparse place with too much empty space and not enough personal touches. He settled her on the couch, got the girls fed and changed, and tended to the cuts on Hannah's hands with a first aid kit that looked barely used. Stay here tonight, he said, not a question. Tomorrow we handle this. Hannah was too exhausted to argue. She woke to sunlight and the smell of coffee. Owen was already dressed, laptop open at the kitchen table, phone pressed to his ear. Don't care if it's Saturday, James. I need you at the restaurant in an hour. He hung up and noticed Hannah. How'd you sleep? Like the dead, she checked on the girls still asleep. Thank God. What are you doing? Calling in reinforcements. Owen poured her coffee without asking how she took it. He already knew. We're having a meeting, staff, witnesses, everyone who was there last night, Owen. You don't have to. Yes, I do. His voice was flat. Controlled fury. What happened last night was calculated assault and harassment. Karen broke into my restaurant, impersonated a manager, and publicly humiliated an employee. That's not just wrong, it's criminal. Hannah's stomach twisted. If you make a big deal out of this, it'll just draw more attention. Good. Let people pay attention. Owen sat across from her. Hannah, you've been hiding and apologizing and making yourself small since the day we met, and I let you, because I thought you needed time. But last night proved something. These people won't stop until they destroy you completely. So we're done playing defense. What are you going to do? Owen's smile was cold. Show them exactly who they're dealing with. By noon, the restaurant's private dining room was packed. Owen had called in every employee who'd been working the previous night, plus a handful of regulars who'd witnessed the incident. Charles stood by the door, arms crossed, making sure nobody left early. Hannah sat in the corner, the babies quiet in their carrier, trying to be invisible one more time. Owen stood at the front of the room, a folder in his hands and a TV screen behind him. Thank you all for coming, he began, his voice carrying authority. I know it's your day off. I'll make this quick. Last night there was an incident involving Hannah Collins and her children. Some of you witnessed it. Some of you participated in the aftermath. A few uncomfortable glances around the room. The woman from table 8 shifted in her seat. What you saw, Owen continued, was staged. The woman who confronted Hannah was not Claire Benson, our former manager. It was Karen Ricci, Claire's friend and former employee, who was banned from this property 3 weeks ago. He clicked a remote. The screen lit up with security footage. Grainy but clear enough. Karen entering through the kitchen door. Karen releasing the brake on the dessert cart. Karen positioning herself, waiting for Hannah to walk past. The impact, the chaos, and then, most damning, Karen walking calmly to the dining room entrance, straightening her blazer and delivering her performance. The room was silent. This, Owen said, his voice hard, was deliberate sabotage, an act of revenge orchestrated by someone with a grudge. And some of you, his gaze swept the room, applauded when Hannah left. You validated an attack on a co-worker who's done nothing but work her ass off for this place. The woman from table 8 looked away. The man from the bar stared at his hands. Owen switched to another slide. Financial records, highlighted sections, official-looking documents. Do you want to know why Claire Benson was really fired? Not because of Hannah, because she embezzled $80,000 over 2 years. Because she falsified records and created fake vendors. Because she systematically harassed and sabotaged a single mother to cover her tracks. He let that sink in. Hannah Collins never slept with me, never asked for special treatment, never did anything except show up every day and work harder than most of you combined while raising 3 infants alone. Owen's voice dropped, dangerous and quiet, and you made her feel like shit for it. Someone coughed. Someone else looked uncomfortable, but nobody spoke. Owen pulled out another document. This is a formal complaint I'm filing with the police against Karen Ricci for trespassing, assault, and harassment. I have her on camera. I have witnesses. She's going to face charges. He set the paper down with deliberate precision. Now here's what happens next. Anyone who spread rumors about Hannah, who left malicious notes, who contributed to a hostile work environment, who have two options. Come forward now, apologize directly to Hannah, and we move forward, or stay silent. And when I find out who you are, and I will find out, you're fired. No warnings, no second chances. The silence stretched, then Amy, the young waitress, stood up. I'm sorry, her voice shook. I didn't leave notes or anything, but I listened to the gossip. I didn't defend you when people talked, and I should have. Hannah's throat tightened. Marcus stood next. I knew something was wrong with Claire's orders. Saw discrepancies I didn't report. I'm sorry I didn't say something sooner. One by one, others followed. Not everyone. Some sat stone-faced. Defiant, but enough stood to matter. Enough apologized to shift something in the room. The woman from table 8 raised her hand. I'm not staff, but I was wrong. I judged you without knowing the situation. I'm sorry, Owen nodded. Thank you for your honesty. When the confessions stopped, he pulled out one final document. This is a new policy I'm implementing immediately. Lancasters will now provide on-site childcare for any employee who needs it. We're converting the back storage area into a proper facility, licensed, insured, staffed. Because being a parent shouldn't disqualify you from earning a living. The announcement landed like a bomb. People exchanged looks, surprise, approval, calculation. Furthermore, Owen continued, I'm establishing a zero-tolerance policy for harassment of any kind. We'll have mandatory training, anonymous reporting, and swift consequences. This restaurant will be a place where people are judged by their work, not their circumstances. He looked directly at Hannah, and Hannah Collins is promoted to shift supervisor, effective immediately. Because she's earned it, Hannah's head snapped up. Owen, you've earned it, he repeated, louder. Your performance reviews are impeccable. Your work ethic is unmatched, and you deserve recognition for that. He turned back to the room. Anyone who has a problem with any of this can leave now. I'll accept your resignation and wish you well. Nobody moved. Good. Owen shut his folder. Meeting adjourned. Get back to your lives. And remember, we're better than what happened last night. Let's act like it. After everyone left, Hannah sat alone in the dining room while Owen talked with Charles. The girls were sleeping, full and content, oblivious to the storm that had just passed. She felt strange, lighter maybe, or just hollow where the fear used to live. Owen returned, sitting beside her. You okay? I don't know. Hannah looked at him. You didn't have to do all that, yes? I did. The childcare facility, the promotion, Owen. That's a lot of money. A lot of change. It's the right thing. He met her eyes. And I'm tired of doing the bare minimum. Rachel deserved better than what she got. You deserve better. Every parent working here deserves better. You can't save everyone, no, but I can start with one person. His hand found hers, and then maybe another and another. Until this place is actually what I always said it was, somewhere people matter. Hannah's eyes stung. Why are you so good to me? Owen was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, because somewhere along the way, this stopped being about redemption and started being about you. Because when I see you, I don't see someone who needs saving. I see someone worth standing beside. Owen, you don't have to say anything. I just needed you to know. He squeezed her hand. You're not alone anymore, Hannah, and you're not going anywhere. Hannah looked at their joined hands, at the man who'd fought for her when nobody else would, at the baby sleeping peacefully in the corner. Thank you, she whispered. Don't thank me yet. Owen smiled. Tired but genuine, we've still got Karen to deal with, and your landlord, and about a dozen other problems. One disaster at a time, he agreed. For the first time and longer than she could remember, Hannah believed they might actually make it through. 3 weeks later, the childcare facility opened. It wasn't fancy, just the old storage area transformed with bright paint, soft mats, and age-appropriate toys donated by staff and customers. But it had cribs, a changing station, a small kitchen for bottles, and most importantly, a licensed caregiver named Rosa who'd raised 4 kids of her own and had patience Hannah could only dream of. This is incredible, Hannah breathed, watching Rosa arrange picture books on a low shelf. It's necessary, Owen corrected, hands in his pockets. Should have done it years ago. The facility wasn't just for Hannah anymore. 2 other employees had children, Marcus's nephew, who he watched after school, and a line cook whose daycare kept canceling on her. Within days, word spread, applications came in. People who'd turned down jobs at Lancaster's because of childcare conflicts suddenly reapplied. "You're starting a revolution," Charles joked, watching Owen review the applications. "I'm fixing a broken system," Owen replied. But he was smiling. Hannah's promotion came with challenges of her own. As shift supervisor, she managed schedules, resolved conflicts, and dealt with the daily chaos of running a restaurant. Some staff resented her rise. She was too new, too young, too obvious about where her support came from, but most respected her work ethic. And the ones who didn't kept it to themselves after Owen's speech. The best part, the girls thrived. Grace was rolling over now, grabbing at everything within reach. Lily had discovered her voice and used it, constantly babbling, laughing, shrieking with delight. Hope remained the serious one, watching the world with those solemn eyes. But even she smiled more now. Hannah would check on them during breaks, standing at the nursery window and watching Rosa play with them. The guilt of not being the one to care for them every second warred with the relief of knowing they were safe, fed, happy. "You're allowed to have help," Owen told her one afternoon, finding her at the window again. "It doesn't make you a bad mother. It feels like it sometimes." "That's the exhaustion talking." He stood beside her, close enough that their shoulders brushed. "They're thriving, Hannah. Look at them." She looked. Grace was giggling at something Rosa did. Lily was chewing contentedly on a teething ring. Hope was napping, peaceful and secure. "Yeah," Hannah admitted. "They are." The romance happened slowly, then all at once. It started with small things, as if bringing Hannah coffee exactly how she liked it. Hannah saving him the last slice of Marcus's famous chocolate cake. Conversations that stretched long after closing. Talking about everything and nothing. Owen told her about his father, the investment banker who'd called the restaurant a phase right up until it became profitable, about Rachel, and how he visited Emma last month for the first time in over a year, how the girl barely remembered him and how much that hurt. Hannah told him about her mother, who'd made it clear that keeping the babies was Hannah's mistake to live with. About Marcus, the boyfriend who'd promised forever and couldn't handle 9 months. About the years of barely surviving and how she'd forgotten what it felt like to actually live. They learned each other in increments. Owen liked his coffee black, but his tea sweet. Hannah hummed when she was nervous. Owen ran his hand through his hair when he was thinking. Hannah bit her bottom lip when she was trying not to cry. The shift came on a Tuesday. They were closing together. The restaurant finally quiet after a hectic dinner rush. Hannah was wiping tables while Owen counted the register, and the silence was comfortable, familiar. "Can I ask you something?" Hannah said suddenly. "Always. Why did you really fire Claire? I mean, I know the official reasons, but..." She hesitated. "Was it really just about me?" Owen set down the cash he was counting at first. "Yes, I saw what she was doing to you, and it reminded me of Rachel. Of all the ways I failed to protect her." He met Hannah's eyes. "But then I kept investigating, and I found the fraud, and I realized Claire had been creating a toxic environment for everyone. Not just you. You were just the most visible target. So I was the catalyst, you were the wake-up call." Owen moved around the bar, closing the distance between them. "You made me see what I'd been ignoring. That running a successful restaurant isn't just about profit margins and good reviews. It's about the people, about creating a place where they're treated with dignity. That's very evolved of you." Hannah teased gently. "I'm a work in progress," he smiled. But it faded into something more serious. "Hannah, I need to tell you something." Her heart kicked up. "Okay, that day I found you in the storage room. I told myself I was helping you because of Rachel, because I owed it to her memory to do better." He paused. "But that was only part of it, the truth is. From the moment I saw you curled around those babies, protecting them even in sleep, something in me recognized something in you." Hannah's breath caught. "What strength? Real strength, not the performance of it. You were at your lowest point and you still chose love over everything else." Owen's voice went rough. "I'd spent years choosing success over people, choosing distance over connection, and then you showed up and reminded me what actually matters." "Owen, I'm not saying this to make you uncomfortable. You don't owe me anything. Not gratitude, not reciprocation, nothing." He held her gaze. "I just needed you to know that what I feel for you, it's not pity. It's not guilt. It's not obligation." "What is it?" Hannah whispered. Owen reached up, cupping her face with one hand, his thumb brushing her cheekbone. "It's everything I didn't know I was missing." Hannah leaned into his touch, her eyes closing. She'd been alone so long, fighting so hard, that letting someone in felt like stepping off a cliff. But Owen had proven himself over and over with actions, not just words. I'm scared, she admitted. Me too. If this doesn't work, it will work. Owen's voice was certain. Because we'll make it work, together. Hannah opened her eyes and found him looking at her like she was something precious. Like she mattered beyond what she could do or provide. Like she was enough, exactly as she was. Okay, she breathed. Owen smiled, soft, genuine, unguarded, and kissed her forehead, not her lips, not yet. Just a gentle press of lips to skin that promised more without demanding it. Take your time, he murmured. I'm not going anywhere, Hannah believed him. That weekend, Owen helped Hannah move into a new apartment. Her old landlord had been all too happy to terminate the lease after the restaurant incident. But Owen knew someone who owned a building nearby. Family-friendly, safe, affordable. The landlord owed Owen a favor. And suddenly, Hannah had a 2-bedroom with natural light and a landlord who didn't threaten eviction every month. This is too much, Hannah protested as Owen and Marcus carried her furniture up the stairs. It's a decent apartment, not a castle, Owen replied. Stop arguing and tell me where you want the couch. They spent the day unpacking boxes. Assembling the cribs Owen had bought used but sturdy, and turning bare walls into a home. The girls loved the space, more room to roll. New things to explore. By evening, the apartment looked lived in. Hannah stood in the middle of her new living room, taking it all in. Thank you, she said to Owen. For all of it, you don't have to keep thanking me, I know. But I want to. She turned to face him. You changed my life. Owen, you gave me hope when I'd run out. You did that yourself. I just removed some obstacles. He moved closer. The strength was always yours, Hannah. I just made sure people could see it. Hannah rose on her toes and kissed his cheek. Still, thank you. Owen's eyes darkened. You keep doing that, and I'm going to want more. Maybe I want you to want more. The air between them charged. Owen's hand found her waist, drawing her closer. Hannah, it's okay, she whispered. I'm ready. This time when he kissed her, it was on the lips, soft and searching and full of promise. Hannah melted into him, letting herself feel wanted and safe and hopeful. When they broke apart, both breathing harder, Owen pressed his forehead to hers. We're really doing this, he asked. We're really doing this, Hannah confirmed. And for the first time in years, the future felt like something worth looking forward to. The community event was Owen's idea. We've got the space, the resources, and the platform, he'd said over coffee one morning. Why not use it to help people like you, single parents who are barely hanging on? So Lancaster's opened its doors on a Sunday afternoon, not for profit, but for purpose. The dining room was transformed, information booths for childcare resources, legal aid, housing assistance. Rosa ran a parenting workshop in the corner. Marcus taught a cooking Ono budget class in the kitchen. And Hannah, nervous but determined, coordinated the whole thing. The turnout surprised everyone. Dozens of parents showed up, some with infants, some with toddlers, all wearing that same exhausted, hopeful expression Hannah knew too well. They swapped stories, traded advice, and for a few hours, nobody had to pretend they had it all together. Owen watched from the sidelines. Absurdly proud. You did good, Charles said. Appearing beside him, Hannah did good. This was all her. She had help. Charles grinned. From someone who's gotten pretty invested in her success. Owen didn't deny it over the past 2 months. His feelings for Hannah had deepened from protective concern to something far more complicated. He thought about her constantly, the way she laughed when Grace grabbed her nose, the fierce determination in her eyes when facing a challenge, the softness that emerged when she finally let herself relax. They hadn't defined what they were yet, hadn't put labels on the stolen kisses and long conversations, and the way Owen's apartment had become a second home for Hannah and the girls. But it felt inevitable, like a path they'd been walking toward since that first night in the storage room. "You're gonna tell her?" Charles asked. "Tell her what? That you're head over heels in love with her?" Owen's jaw tightened. "It's complicated. Love usually is." Charles clapped him on the shoulder. "But she deserves to know." Before Owen could respond, Hannah appeared, slightly frazzled, carrying hope. The copier jammed, and we're out of resource sheets. "Can you?" "I'll handle it," Owen said immediately. "You good?" Hannah smiled, tired but genuine. "Yeah, this is amazing, Owen. Look at all these people. You helped them feel less alone." "That's everything." She held his gaze for a moment, something unspoken passing between them. Then hope grabbed Hannah's hair, and the moment broke. "Go," Owen said. "I've got the copier." As the afternoon wound down and the last families trickled out, Owen found Hannah sitting at the bar, the girls asleep in their carrier beside her. She looked exhausted but content. "You pulled it off," he said. Sliding onto the stool beside her, "We pulled it off." She leaned against his shoulder. "Thank you for believing in this." "Always," Owen hesitated, then pulled a small box from his pocket. "I have something for you." Hannah straightened, eyeing the box warily. "Owen, it's not what you think. Just open it." She did. Slowly. Inside was a keychain, simple silver, with a small inscription. "Para que nunca te falte amor." For you to never lack love. Hannah's breath caught. This is the same phrase from Lily's bracelet. "I know." Owen's voice was gentle. "I wanted you to have a reminder that you're loved, that you matter." Hannah's eyes filled with tears. She traced the inscription with her finger, and Owen saw the moment recognition clicked. Her hand stilled. Her face went pale. "Owen," her voice was barely audible. "Where did you learn this phrase?" His stomach dropped. "What, this phrase? Para que nunca te falte amor." "It's Portuguese." Hannah's hand was shaking. It was on the bracelet Marcus gave Lily. He said it was something his grandmother used to say. Owen felt the world tilt. Hannah. Marcus's last name was Lancaster. "Wasn't it? I never made the connection because it's common." And he never talked about his family, but her eyes searched his face. Desperate. "Owen, how old was your brother?" The silence stretched like broken glass. 22, Owen said finally, "when he died." Hannah's face crumbled. "Oh my God." "He was in the car with Rachel." Owen's voice was flat. "Mechanical. The accident. It wasn't just Rachel. Marcus was driving. They'd been at a party, and he'd had too much to drink. And Rachel tried to take the keys, but he insisted he was fine. The pieces fell into place with terrible precision, you knew." Hannah whispered, "You knew the whole time that Marcus was the girl's father." "Not at first. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend." Owen's hands clenched, "But when I saw the bracelet, the phrase, the handwriting, I recognized it. My grandmother used to say it. Marcus used to write it on everything." Hannah stood abruptly, the stool scraping against the floor. "Why didn't you tell me? Because what good would it have done?" Owen's voice rose. "He's dead, Hannah, dead because he made a stupid, selfish choice that killed himself and my sister." What was I supposed to say, by the way? "Your deadbeat ex was my little brother, and he's the reason I'm an orphaned wreck." "You were supposed to tell me the truth." Hannah's voice cracked. "Do you know what I went through? The shame, the judgment, raising 3 babies alone because their father abandoned us. And all this time you knew he didn't just leave, he died, and you said nothing. I was protecting you. You were protecting yourself." Tears streamed down Hannah's face. "You couldn't face the fact that your brother was exactly what everyone assumed responsible and selfish. So you let me carry that shame alone rather than deal with your own guilt. That's not fair. None of this is fair." Hannah grabbed the carrier, her movements jerky. "Those girls, they're your nieces. Your blood, and you've been playing hero, acting like you're some generous savior, when really you've been trying to fix your own failures through us." Owen flinched like she'd slapped him. "That's not true, isn't it?" Hannah's voice went cold. "Every kind thing you've done, was it for me? Or was it because you saw Rachel and Marcus in us and couldn't live with yourself if you failed again?" "Both," Owen said quietly. "It was both at first. Yes, I saw Rachel, but Hannah, somewhere along the way, it became about you, about the girls, about building something real, built on a lie." Hannah shouldered the diaper bag. "I need to think. Hannah, please don't." She held up a hand. "Just don't. I can't do this right now." She walked out and Owen let her go, his chest hollow. Charles emerged from the kitchen. "Having heard everything, boss." "Not now," Owen said. He sat alone in the empty restaurant, surrounded by the remnants of the community event, and wondered how he'd managed to destroy the best thing in his life. 2 days later, Hannah didn't come to work. She called in sick, but Owen knew better. She was avoiding him, processing the revelation, deciding whether she could forgive him. He didn't blame her. He'd lied by omission. Let her believe a false narrative because the truth was too painful. And now he might lose her forever. On the 3rd day, Hannah texted, "We need to talk, my apartment." 7 p.m., Owen arrived early, rehearsing apologies that all sounded hollow. When Hannah opened the door, she looked tired but composed. The girls were on a blanket, playing with blocks. "Come in," she said. They sat in awkward silence. Then Hannah spoke. "I've been thinking about what you said, about it being both guilt and genuine care." She looked at the girls. "And I realized something. It doesn't matter why you started helping. What matters is that you did, and you kept doing it, even when it was hard." "Hannah, let me finish." She took a breath. "Marcus was their father, and he made terrible choices, but he also gave them life, and he brought you into our lives. Even if he didn't mean to, Owen's throat tightened. Those girls deserve to know their family, their real family. Hannah met his eyes. Can you do that? Can you be their uncle, not their savior? Can you love them for who they are, not who they represent? Yes, Owen said, without hesitation. God. Yes, and me, her voice wavered. Can you love me for me? Not because I remind you of Rachel, but because I'm Hannah. Owen crossed the space between them, kneeling in front of her. I love you because you're fierce and stubborn and brave, because you make me want to be better, because when I'm with you, I'm not trying to fix the past time, building a future. Hannah's eyes filled with tears. You should have told me. I know, I'm sorry. If we do this, if we try, no more secrets, Owen promised. Hannah pulled him close, and they held each other while the girls played, oblivious to the weightlifting. We're a mess, Hannah murmured. The best things usually are. And in that small apartment, surrounded by the chaos of family chosen and found, and somehow both, they began again.